For an arbitrage bond, time limits are twofold. There's the different calculations. So, arbitrage rebate is done on the initial temporary period, which is typically 3 years, sometimes can be 5 years. And secondary calculation is yield restriction, which occurs after the end of that temporary period. And so, those are not times that you need to spend all of the money by. It's just the timeline for the calculation and determining if you have a liability accruing or not to really avoid a bond being held long enough to avoid the arbitrage rules. That's what the secondary yield restriction rules are for. So if you have a bond that has not earned arbitrage for 3 years, your temporary period ends, and now the market has changed, and now you do have arbitrage. That initial period can't offset your arbitrage on the second period and allow you to profit from that without sending money back to the IRS. So it just negates the potential to hold bond proceeds out long enough to avoid the rules. The most important piece is if you do have a liability that has accrued, you need to pay that within 60 days of the proceeds being fully spent, or every 5 years if you have remaining proceeds and your project is not completed. So on the bond anniversary, the day that your bonds were issued in 5 years, you need to make any current liability payment. And if you've spent that money earlier, within 60 days of your final payment, you need to send that money to the IRS, whatever that liability might be, to avoid fees or penalties.